Hello, everybody. Hope you are wherever you are. My name is Gavin. I hope that you're good, awesome, and great as well. Now, today I'm launching the Property Focus series, where in the next couple of weeks I'll be talking everything property investing, leading towards the end of the year, and obviously preparing for 2020, a year I call the year of wealth creation. Now, today I'm kicking it off with an episode on new developments versus existing property. Now, I always get this question, Gavin, do I invest in a new development or do I buy existing property? Which one is the best from an investment point of view? And the other big question that I get, especially lately, is this the right time to invest in property? Looking at everything that is happening in the country, the SAA, the ESCOMs, people losing jobs, looking at all these, things that are happening, not only here in this country, but globally as well. Do you think this is the right time to invest in property? I say yes, this is definitely the right time to invest. I also refer people to a movie called 99 Homes. So it's 99 Homes. It's a movie that was based on the USA 2008 financial meltdown, when somebody made millions out of buying homes, when people were losing homes during that era. And you can imagine what happened in the upswing, because obviously the market of the US market did recover, and obviously he was able to become a wealthy man. So watch that movie and please tell me what you think after watching that movie. All right, now let's kick off the episode. Let's talk now new developments. What are the advantages and the disadvantages of buying into a new development? Now, I always say that in investments, there are advantages and disadvantages. Now, the first advantage, so this is when now you buying straight from a developer or you buying off plan, so to speak. So off plan is basically you're not buying a finished product most of the time, so you're buying using a plan of how the structure is going to look like and 3D pictures in terms of how it's going to look like when it's finished. So the first advantage is that it's all cost inclusive most of the time. So it means that the bond cost and the transfer cost are included in the purchase price, right? So obviously that is a major benefit. You don't have to cough up money from your own pocket to then pay the attorneys in terms of those bond costs and transfer costs. The second one is from a maintenance point of view, because now it's still a new product, it's still a new property. Now the chances of you fixing anything are slim. So you'll probably maybe fix anything maybe after 2 years or 3 years, depending again on the tenant that you have. So this is why it's very important to make sure that you screen your tenants and you get good tenants that will look after your investment, because that property is your investment. So maintenance cost, we were able to click on that. Now the third one is a tax deduction. So there's a major tax deduction associated with buying off plans. It's called the Section 13 So once you hit number 5, so you buy 5 properties, so that is one of the requirements, then you can unlock that tax deduction. So it says that you can claim a minimum of 55% on the purchase price over 20 years. So you can imagine that you're claiming a minimum of 55%, over the 20 years, because one of the major headaches, depending on how you buy your properties or how you structure them, is going to be tax. So once then you make profits, you're gonna need to be able to pay tax, and so you can use this deduction. I call it a tax-free deduction to be able to offset the tax that you were supposed to pay there. So a major benefit when you're buying straight from the developer. So what are the disadvantages? Now, one of the disadvantages is that the development can take extremely long time. Some of it can even go to maybe 2 years. So that is an inconvenience, considering that during those times things can change. You can be able maybe to your credit score is affected, or maybe get a default or whatever it is, and if you finance it via bank, they can then be able to revoke that bond grant. So maybe that that is one of the disadvantages. But to link it there as well, it can be a major benefit as well, because you might lock this property at today's prices, but you find it next year when it's completed, it has grown in value. So meaning that you can be able to unlock equity there before you even make your first installment, because then through that you can be able to refinance, or you can be able to even sell that property at a profit. There were some of the people, they flip using those kind of properties. But yeah, so that's a story for another day. So that is a major deduction, a major benefit. And the other benefit, other disadvantage as well, is that whatever that was promised and what is delivered can be two different things. So that is why it's important to make sure that you are buying from a reputable developer that has a track record, because now they can promise one thing, but when the finished product is there, you find that there are two different things, which can then be a problem. So those are advantages and disadvantages of buying into a new development. Now let's go to buying into an existing property. So that's where you're buying from Gavin. What are the advantages? So the one big advantage, especially now looking at the economic times and everything, people losing jobs, the economy is not growing, is that you can be able to negotiate prices. Oh, I love that, because you can be able to get bargains, especially I think going into the new year, there's going to be a lot of bargains on the floor, so you can be able to to squeeze out the seller there, because I mean a lot of them will be desperate to sell those prices, so you can then to force to force their hand to be able to reduce their prices. You can even buy those prices below market value, which is great and fantastic. I know it sounds bad, but yeah, it's business. All right, so that's a major benefit. So now what are the disadvantages? Is that at times, if you don't research properly around the cost, so because first of all, there are bond costs, there are transfer costs, those will be factored in. You need to factor them in, because yes, you buy it at this low price, but when you include the bond cost and the transfer cost, is it still a viable deal? So that's why you need to be able to check that. And one of the things is that you need to be able to go with somebody that understands property. They're doing it, or they've done it, because now if you don't know, you can miss certain things that needs to be fixed in that property, and that is additional cost that will be added on to your purchase price and the bond cost, because at times you find that it's actually not a good investment, because when you look at it from a pricing point of view, it might seem low, but you find that there's a lot of TLC that's needed in that property, and all those things are costs, and they need to come from you. So you need to make sure that you have covered all those bases, so that when you make that offer, it makes sense and you can be able to benefit from it. Now I hope now all of this that I have provided you with today, they'll be able to help you, whether you want to start your property investment portfolio or buy to let business, or you already have properties already, you want to scale up. This will be able to help you. Now on that note, may you have yourself an amazing and incredible day, and please don't forget to click on that red button. It's free, mahala. Click on it and subscribe, and please tell your friends, your family, your future bay, your almost bay, everybody to also subscribe as well, so that they can benefit from the content that I have provided already and that I'll be providing going forward. And thank you again for watching, and your support really means a lot to me, and I will see you on the flip side. Gavin Kabela signing out.